and so it probably has a better chance of surviving than a small planet like the Earth would.
It appears that stellar winds and thermal pulsations produced by 391 Pegasi pulled atmospheric material from the outer layers of the exoplanet and hurled it into space. However, the gas giant planet survived because it could afford to lose a lot of mass.
We can speculate that it may have lost one or more Earth masses of material. And of course, if the Earth lost that much material, it wouldn't be here. Certainly, a Jupiter-sized planet, a gas giant, isn't inhabitable by people, but it's still intriguing that if the Sun went to the red giant phase, it's possible that Jupiter would survive.
The continued existence of the gas giant planet orbiting 391 Pegasi doesn't provide conclusive evidence one way or the other whether Earth will survive the death of our Sun. But one thing seems certain. Long before our Sun becomes a red giant, our planet will no longer be hospitable for Earth-type life. Any future civilizations will need to relocate, and billions of years before the impending inferno.
About 1 billion years from now, if viewers were around, I'd recommend that you move to Mars. Mars, instead of being too cool like it is now, would probably have a somewhat more favorable temperature. If there is water underground in Mars, and we don't really know one way or the other for certain yet, maybe you could use some of that water and you might have a comfortable retirement on the planet Mars.
But the move to Mars wouldn't be simple. The red planet would be warmer than it is today, but it would still be missing a few of life's necessities.
You have to create an atmosphere, you have to have pretty high pressures in order to have molten water on the surface. You need to somehow generate oxygen. Just because a planet or a moon is in the habitable zone doesn't mean that it's already habitable.
If you were a strategic planner, you would encourage the growth of plant life on Mars 1 billion years in the future. You would generate oxygen, and you'd make that planet more hospitable for us. And perhaps a little egotistically, we call that terraforming, that we could form another planet in the shape of Terra or the Earth. I hope we're here to do that.
Even if an advanced society manages to colonize Mars, this new home will be temporary. The Sun will continue to become brighter and bigger, pushing the habitable zone even farther out. During the red giant phase, Earthlings will have to move again, perhaps to the water-rich moons of Jupiter or Saturn. But with every new location, there will be more obstacles.
Near the end of the Sun's red giant stage, it will rapidly be growing much brighter and much bigger. So we'll need to move to the new habitable zone much more frequently. Another problem with moving to a new planet or a moon is that it would be very difficult and expensive to move all humans. So whom do you choose? Just some elite subset of society? That would create great problems.
Instead of abandoning Earth before the Sun becomes a red giant, another alternative might be to actually move the entire planet. This may sound like science fiction, but technologies are already being considered that might rescue Earth from the solar apocalypse. Predictions about our Sun's demise are widely accepted. In about 5 billion years, our star will begin a long, violent death. As it mushrooms into a red giant, it will vaporize planets Mercury, Venus, and, most likely, Earth. If human-type civilizations still exist, they will have already relocated to the outer solar system. And they may have even hauled Earth away with them. The challenge will be finding the right cosmic moving van.
We might gradually move the Earth to a new habitable zone by, for example, taking an asteroid and bringing it into an orbit so that it comes reasonably close to the Earth every once in a while and gives it a gravitational tug outward.
Right now, scientists are running computer simulations to test the feasibility of actually moving Earth using manned or drone rockets.
In order to do that, we would either have to use solar sails, perhaps, to direct this asteroid into the correct place, or maybe a fusion-powered rocket. In a billion years, we may have other technologies that are much easier, and who knows what we can do by then.
Researchers have determined that an asteroid would need to be rounded up every 6,000 years to keep nudging our planet outward as our sun grows in brightness.
If it does that very gradually, very steadily, but over millions of years, then we will gradually drift out, keeping pace with the drifting habitable zone.